Hello and welcome, Minnesota Farah. We are genuinely very happy to have you with us for our daily coverage of the NFL news. Please subscribe to our channel to support our initiative as we bring to you the latest updates from the world of NFL on a daily basis. Now let's dive deep into our news stories.
Welcome to the latest NFL news roundup for today. I'm your host, and we've got a lot to cover today. So, let's dive right in. 1. Arizona Cardinals. In the world of the Arizona Cardinals, there's excitement as they've made a significant signing. Wide receiver Andre Bexelia is joining the team, adding depth to their receiving core. Now, let's move on to our next update. 2. Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are gearing up for their next game. They've elevated linebacker Ekulieta and safety Matthias Farley for game day. These moves could be pivotal as the Panthers strive for their first win of the season. Now, on to the next story. 3. Chicago Bears. In Chicago, the Bears have some interesting developments. Defensive end Khalid Kareem has been activated off injured reserve, a boost to their defensive line. On the flip side, they've downgraded DB Jaquan Brisker due to illness. These moves will surely impact their upcoming game against the Chargers. In addition, they've made some roster cuts, parting ways with Adeviante Collins and S.A.J. Thomas. Now, it's time for our next headline. 4. Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are facing some injury setbacks. Running back Chase Brown has been placed on injured reserve due to a hamstring injury. This will test their running back depth. Moving on to the next update. 5. Cleveland Browns. The Browns are making game day elevations count with the additions of running back Jordan Wilkins and offensive tackle Ty Nsekhe. These moves could provide a crucial boost to their offense. On to the next piece of news. 6. Detroit Lions. The Lions are dealing with multiple injuries. Running back David Montgomery has been ruled out for their Monday night game against the Raiders due to rib issues. Offensive guard Jonah Jackson is also out with an ankle problem. Furthermore, center Frank Ragnow is doubtful for the same game, which means Graham Glasnow is set to step in if Ragnow can't play. SCJ, Gardner Johnson's potential return later this season remains uncertain. Now, let's move on to the next team. 7. Houston Texans. The Houston Texans have activated DL Hassan Ridgeway off injured reserve. His return to the defensive line will be a welcome addition. Additionally, they've made some roster cuts, including linebacker Corey Littleton. Let's move forward. 8. Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts have made some game day elevations, bringing in DT McTelvin Agim and CB Chris Lamons. These moves could provide depth and options for their defense. Now, it's time for the next update. 9. Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars have some good news. They've activated defensive tackle Davon Hamilton from injured reserve. This is a positive development for their defensive front. Now, onto our next story. 10. Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are dealing with an injury to linebacker Nick Bolton, who has been placed on injured reserve with a wrist injury. This will be a setback for their defense. However, they've elevated safety Dion Bush for the game, providing some depth in the secondary. Moving on to our next update. 11. Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders have received a boost with quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo's return, as he's declared good to go for their Monday night game against the Detroit Lions. Coach Josh McDaniels has given the green light. Now, let's get to the next piece of news. 12. Los Angeles Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers have elevated wide receiver Alex Erickson for their next game. This could provide additional firepower to their offense. 13. Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are making a game day elevation, adding running back Darrell Henderson. This move aims to bolster their running game. 14. Miami Dolphins. In Miami, cornerback Jalen Ramsey has been activated off injured reserve after undergoing a full meniscus repair in his left knee. This is excellent news for the Dolphins' defense. They've also made some roster cuts, parting ways with cornerback Perry Nickerson. 15. Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings have made a significant signing, bringing wide receiver Tristan Jackson onto the active roster from the practice squad. This is a move to enhance their receiving options. 16. New England Patriots. The Patriots have a couple of injuries to note. Offensive lineman Vidarian Lowe has been downgraded to out for their upcoming game against Miami. Linebacker Josh Uch is also out with an ankle-toe injury. Now, onto our next story. 17. Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles have elevated wide receiver Julio Jones for their upcoming game. This could add more firepower to their already potent offense. 18. San Francisco 49ers. Great news for the 49ers, as quarterback Brock Purdy has cleared concussion protocol and is injury-free going into their Sunday showdown against the Bengals. This is a big relief for the team. 19. Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks have elevated offensive lineman Jason Peters for their game. This move could provide much-needed protection for their quarterback. In other news, wide receiver Dee Eskridge has been activated following a 6-game suspension for violating the league's personal conduct policy. Now, onto our next story. 20. Tennessee Titans. The Titans have made some significant moves. They've signed DL Jaleel Johnson and DB Eric Garror. These signings will surely impact their defense. In terms of roster cuts, they've released linebacker Chance Campbell and defensive back Shyheim Carter. Onward to our next update. That's all for today's NFL News Roundup. Stay tuned for more updates and exciting developments from around the league.